Do you know how many spaces I've shown you already on our Retro Ranch Reno tour? 13! So are you ready for spaces 14 and 15? We're gonna talk about the mudroom, laundry room, and the lower bathroom. Are you thinking that's a strange combination? Well, here's how I see it. Sometimes if you've been out running around, you might come into the mudroom and you might also need to shortly thereafter use the facilities. So that is my rationale. Let's kick it off with the mudroom. I get really excited about this space because every time I tour a home, my imagination runs wild with possibilities and I get excited about what could happen. What is this? This is calling out to be the ultimate mudroom. And in this case, the transformation of our mudroom laundry room was a breeze. What made this mudroom area amazing from minute one was the fact that there is a door leading into it directly off of the garage. How fantastic is that? We just had unfinished space.
I think we got a lot to work with here. We've got the furnace, which is kind of in our way.
Here's what we needed to do. To kick it off, we had to move the furnace because it was located in kind of a not great area.
It looks like it actually shouldn't be too much metalwork to do that.
No, not at all.
Overall, that cost us about $2,000. I think it was entirely worth it because in moving the furnace, we were able to create a little furnace room storage area. Having the furnace enclosed instead of sitting in the middle of the mudroom is definitely a bonus. In doing that, we were able to put the washer and dryer together as a pair, install a counter, some cabinetry, and create a really efficient laundry zone. I'm not always a big fan of combining a mudroom with a laundry room because I worry about stuff getting dirty, such as the floor getting dirty and then clean laundry touching it. But the good news here is we have two separate entry locations for this house. We have the front door entry with the foyer, and then we have this entry where you come off the garage. So I'm assuming that we are not going to be tracking in a whole ton of mud and dirt into this mudroom. However, that said, we still have a very durable floor surface thanks to the vinyl floor we installed. Let's just talk about a couple of simple design details here for this laundry area. We've got a butcher block countertop, and this is actually a leftover remnant piece from another project. So how do you like that price? Free! You know I love free. On the side, the cladding of the washer dryer, what you'll notice is instead of just using a simple standard gable, which would be 5/8 of an inch thick, I had the guys build me a panel using some leftover wood. We had lots of leftover spruce and pine kicking around. So what we've done is we've created a custom panel gable end that is thicker. It's made of solid wood. The advantage here is that the doorway leads through into the unfinished storage area. So I figured you might be hauling big boxes in there. This gable might get bumped. So it's always a good idea to choose a practical and durable material. Our cabinetry here is highly wipeable, easy to clean, high gloss. We've used simple square stainless steel hardware, and we've mounted those knobs right in the center. This is a nice contemporary touch. You can mount your hardware wherever you like, but I often like the look of when you just mount statement hardware of a kind of large size right in the middle. It looks terrific. So right now we have storage, we have a durable counter space for folding, and a custom gable end. Now, what does that custom gable end tie to, you ask? Well, looky here. We created a textural stained wood wall above the bench in our mudroom. Why did you do that, Sarah, you ask? Well, because I was trying to think of a playful way to add texture to our mudroom. And there were always little scraps of wood kicking around. I was almost thinking, what if we saved absolutely all of the pieces we have? And maybe we can make some sort of interesting pattern. We cut them into blocks and squares. We had different heights. We used 3 different stain colors, and then we assembled it all like a puzzle. A little bit of PL, that's construction adhesive, some framing nails, and ta-da, we have this neat textural wall. Now, if you want to, you could easily add hooks on this wall. I thought we should just leave it as a decorative piece of art in this mudroom, but you could definitely put hooks on it if you want to. Instead, I did a double row of hooks on the opposite side, so we have 12 hooks ready to accommodate all sorts of gear. Coats, hats, drippy raincoats, you name it, all of it can be hung on this wall. You'll also notice we've got ample storage on either side, and we've used a pale gray high gloss slab door front. This is in stock cabinetry. We have a whole variety of different storage solutions. We've got shelves, we've got pullouts, we've got hanging storage. So this is really ready to gobble up all of the ins and outs of everyday life for a family. You always need a bench in a mudroom, right? So we simply made this bench using 2 pieces of spruce lumber. This bench is such an easy DIY project, I have to tell you about it. These are ready to go, pre-made bench legs. And what I like about them is they are steel, they're kind of contemporary and industrial looking. Did I mention ready to go? We cut 2 boards, we applied some stain, we made a matching shelf on the upper level that sits directly on top of our decorative wall, and now we have storage in the way of these galvanized buckets. And I like things that are simple, durable, affordable, unbreakable. Unbreakable is a good one for a family mudroom, right? You can attach tags to them, you could write everybody's name on them. There's lots of ways to help you conquer clutter and stay organized. In your house, it's about what do you want? Do you want everybody to have their own bucket, or do you want all the mitts in one, hats in another, and the dog supplies in a third one? It's up to you to decide how you manage all of your storage solutions. But this way, we've got a bench, we've got a shelf, we've got hooks, we've got hidden storage. Oh, and here's one last fun thing. You may notice that there is a panel applied to this door. Do you see how there's a panel applied to the door leading to the garage? You know what's neat about this? Again, this was a leftover panel. It is high gloss white. So I said, high gloss white. You know what that looks like? That looks like a dry erase board. And we did a test, and if you use a dry erase marker on this high gloss panel, it's easy to wipe it off. I know lots of you love the idea of having a chalkboard for making notes, leaving reminders, making lists. Well, how about this? Use a high gloss white cabinetry panel. We used it actually to cover up a 6-panel steel door and make it look more crisp and contemporary. And now you can have it be completely clean as it is right now, or you can scribble all over it. How's that for an idea? Our palette throughout the mudroom is very restrained. It's grays. It's simple, cool, oystery grays, slightly more cementy grays. We've got the color of our vinyl floor, which ties really nicely to all the colors you see in our decorative wood wall. And then we have a 2-tone effect on our cabinetry. A pale high gloss gray for the main doors and a slightly darker, almost more charcoal tone for the gables, just to frame them up. We've got stainless steel hardware on both the laundry room and on the mudroom doors. And then I really wanted there to be a hint of warmth and something that is more natural. So here come the accessories. We have this terrific wicker mirror. Look at this. It is a round contemporary mirror. It was affordable. It was shipped directly to site. And during a pandemic when you're shopping, that is the criteria you need. Talk about contactless and awesome. So this is a great mirror to have because coming in or out, you just might need or want to check your look. Then we have a few baskets. All of the baskets and all of these natural elements I like to tie together and make sure they are the same finish. I don't love mixing dark wicker with lighter wicker all in the same space. So if you're looking to add that one accent, try and make sure it is all cohesive and consistent throughout. Okay, that's it for the mudroom. Now, should we take a look at the bathroom? There's a little pedestal sink, there is a shower, there's a toilet. So it's got everything you need. It just needs to get some pretty. How do you take an awkward and cramped basement bathroom and turn it into something really quite lovely? Well, there is just one answer and just one word: renovate. That's exactly what we did here. We started with this bathroom, and it has a tricky layout because right in the entry, there is a little closet that houses the sump pump.
You saw the sump pump?
No.
Yeah, the sewage ejection isn't there.
Lovely.
Well, that was never gonna change and can't be avoided. So I had to put on my thinking cap and think, how can we possibly shake this up, rejig it, rearrange it while not moving the shower drain or the toilet? That was the number one goal, because I was trying to save as much money as possible and avoid any big unnecessary costs. Breaking up the basement floor and relocating drains and toilets, I know where that goes. It's not like it's completely ridiculous in the cost spectrum, but it would cost a couple $1,000s by the time we were done. And I was really trying to keep my eye on the budget. We all know how hard it is to stick to a budget and get across the finish line. Not only get across the finish line and get the work done, but then be able to get across the furnish line. In order to get to the finish line, you got to get to the furnish line, and you have to be able to add in all the finishing touches and all of the furniture and not break the bank, because you guys don't want to watch an ugly reveal, do you? I know you don't. So the goal was, how do we keep the shower drain in the same location? How do we keep the toilet in the same location? There was one simple solution, and that was when we renovated the main floor bathroom, which is directly above the lower basement bathroom, we created an area with a sunken tub.
So we are underneath the bathroom on the main floor, and once we deal with our tub, we'll know how much we can take this back.
That's right.
The good news, the great news is we were able to extend this bathroom by about 2 feet. And that was the game changer. So why am I telling you all this? Basically, what I want to say is, if you are renovating, think first about, how do I make the most efficient use of what I'm starting with? And then take one pause and think, is there anything I could do that is inexpensive and affordable that would net me better space? And that is what we did here in this bathroom. By moving that wall, we were able to get a nice sized shower. I'm not gonna say it's huge, but the other 2 showers are both great sizes, and this is a perfect size shower for one. Then we were able to get a 5-foot vanity in here, plus a storage tower. Really, we were able to get everything we needed or wanted into this bathroom. I personally think it looks like we sacrificed nothing, but I can tell you that this was an affordability story from beginning to end. The marble that's on the floor, I called my marble supplier and I said, what could I get a really great deal on? Do you have anything that nobody's used in a while? And he said, oh, Sarah, do I? And along came this marble, which basically looks like crema marfil, something that was super popular in the 90s that basically nobody's using now. So I got a sweet deal on the small amount of flooring I needed to cover this bathroom floor. Here's a tip for you. Measure out and know exactly how much you need for each of your spaces before you go tile shopping. I needed less than 70 square feet. So you might want to look in a remnant area. You may be able to get a sweet deal on natural material that will elevate the overall look of your project by being resourceful when you go shopping. So I've got this crema marfil on the floor. We've got a nice high gloss wall mounted storage cabinet. Look at the amount of storage we have here. We've got drawers, we've got a cabinet. This is more than enough storage than you could possibly need in a bathroom of this size. Look at the shower. Do you see this slab wall? Well, this slab wall is called Donna Gray, and oh, do I love Donna. Donna cost $5 a square foot. Just like the marble I used in the principal bathroom, I got a sweet deal on this marble, and I think the color in this marble is really beautiful because it has swirly grays, but it also has some nice warm veins in it as well. Here's a trick, because this was a very tight install and we had no flexibility with ceiling height. This slab is actually sliced in half right in the middle to allow the install to happen. But once it's installed, it's seamless. I chose to only put the marble on one wall, and I used the rest of the slab to create this custom vanity. Look at this box. Is this not pretty? I mean, look at it. Look at the edges. The entire vanity here is created with a seamless miter detail. And this came in one piece and they set it in place. We built a very simple box frame that supported it out of raw lumber. And this is something that they often do. Have you ever gone into a hotel and looked underneath the vanity to see what's there? Yeah, it's really basic. It doesn't need to be fancy because nobody ever should be lying on this bathroom floor looking up underneath here. So this is the end result. In total, with my $5 square foot marble, all of the marble for this vanity cost me less than $200. Can you believe that? We have a single sink here, and what I like about setting the sink off center is if this is used by guests, there's lots of place to spread out your dopp kit, to put down a towel, to put your toothbrush down, and you've just got a single sink with a nice tall mirror in a contemporary style, and then you've got these fabulous modern faucets. And this is the H2O line from my favorite plumbing supplier, Rubinet, and it's got this fabulous texture on it. I really like this set because it's got a good grip, but it also has really contemporary lines. And as you know, that's what this place was all about.
The light's cool.
The Minister of Exterior says he thinks the light's cool. Well, during the pandemic, we were having a really hard time getting delivery of anything and everything. So I went hunting in my tickle trunk, and I just happened to have a light fixture left over. It was actually a pendant light. It used to be gold. It got merged with a leftover wall sconce from something else, and look, it blossomed into this one-of-a-kind funky fixture that then got spray painted pale gray. With one can of spray paint, we spray painted the sconce in the bunk room, the shade on the table lamp in the bunk room, and this light fixture. Talk about getting your money's worth out of one can of spray paint. What's neat about it is it throws really cool shadow play onto the wall, and it's fun because we made it. So I think that's it. I don't think I can tell you about anything else in there. You don't need to know about the toilet because you all know how those work. So that is the end of our mudroom and lower bathroom tour. You know what's coming up next? The big reveal of the exterior and a final wrap up of the entire house. So make sure you hit that button, click that button, subscribe, and make sure that you don't miss a thing because we got lots more to tackle on our Design Life series.